When you are buying ingredients for a sandwich, you can go plain with 2 simple things like bread and peanut butter, or you can make it a full meal event with ingredients from every part of the store. And if you know me, you know we're going for the full event. Super delicious, bursting with flavor and with crunch. Today we are preparing my new Deli Superstacked sandwiches. I'm Chef Heidi Fink, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. Welcome to the kitchen. Today we are making supersized sandwiches that will blow your mind. They're full of flavor and texture. They can be called subs or hoagies or grinders, but I call them the new Deli stacked sandwich because they can be stacked with anything you like and they will blow your old deli sandwich out of the water. And for vegetarians, I have something for you too. Let's get started. First, I'm gonna prepare all of the components for these sandwiches. I already have in the fridge some sliced cheese and sliced meats. You can choose whatever meats you like. I have a collection of salami, ham, copa, prosciutto. I have something else in there too, I know it. For the vegetarians, we're gonna do some grilled vegetables and we're gonna do a really quick bean dip that's very quick to make. For first, I wanna show you quickly how I grill vegetables. Right here I have a zucchini, so for this I'm cutting it on an angle, as you can see, not too thick, not too thin. You don't want the pieces to be rounds because they can fall too easily through the grill, and long strips are really hard to cut evenly, so I find that these ovals are the best way to do it. Now we're gonna get a bowl and I'm just gonna very quickly toss these zucchini slices with a little bit of olive oil and some salt and pepper. I have my grill pan heated up. Obviously you can do this on a barbecue, and I would usually do a lot more than this. It's really nice to have grilled vegetables on hand. You can use them for all kinds of applications. You can put them in pasta, pizza, sandwiches, whatever. So we got salt, pepper, olive oil. Just make sure they're evenly mixed all the way around. That's looking good. Now we're gonna lay them in one layer in our pan. I can hear that sizzle. That's always a good sign. And if you were doing bell peppers, you could do the same thing. Onions, you want to make sure to cut big, thick rounds so that they'll stay on there almost like a little burger patty. So we're going to just heat those for a few minutes per side. Next, I'm going to work on the bean spread. This is a really quick recipe to make. It just involves 1 small can of white beans and some garlic and rosemary minced up. I've already opened and drained the beans. I'm going over to the stove now. I'm going to put some olive oil in this small pan, and I'm going to mix in this garlic and rosemary. And I mix it in while it's still cold. This is a great tip for making sure the garlic doesn't burn, is if you heat the garlic up with some cold oil. So this is gonna just take maybe a minute. So now this is starting to sizzle, this garlic and rosemary. Let me smell. Oh, nothing better than garlic and oil. And I'll add a little rosemary in there. All right, so that's literally all you need, just a few seconds on the heat. You don't want to burn it. So good. We're just gonna pour that right over top of our beans. There we go. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to this as well. I really like a lot of black pepper in this particular recipe. It really pairs well with the rosemary. And for this, we're just gonna really roughly mash it with a fork. You can use a fork or a potato masher. You just want a texture kind of like, not like hummus. Hummus is a little too smooth, but a similar idea. So a bean mash that you can spread on the bread that has a lot of flavor texture. This looks really good. Okay, so our vegetarian components are mostly organized. We have a whole bunch of grilled vegetables. I'll pull up what I've got to just show you quickly. I've got some grilled onion that I did, got some grilled peppers, and also some oven-dried tomatoes. And now we're gonna work on one of the components I need for the meat sandwich. So the one thing that's really great about this meat version of our deli sandwich is the delicious, crunchy, almost like a salad we're gonna put in the middle. So it's a mixture of mayonnaise, red wine vinegar, some oregano. We're gonna toss that with some pickled pepperoncini, shaved red onion, some iceberg lettuce. So I'm gonna start by making the dressing. And oh, I forgot the red wine vinegar. Maybe Ryan has it.
Go, boss.
Thanks. Everyone, this is Ryan Lilgert. He's been my helper on the show this whole time.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks so much. So we're gonna put a little bit, thanks again, Ryan. We're gonna put a little bit of mayonnaise, usually about 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. You can use whichever brand you like. And then about 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. There we go, just for a little zing. And then a lot of salt and pepper. And then one of my absolutely favorite components, which is these pickled pepperoncini. They have a mild heat, but they're super crunchy. You can use as few or as many as you like. You can also buy some that are a lot spicier. I'm just taking the tops off, and then I'm just gonna slice them very thin like this so that they mix into our salad. There we go. I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, these are looking good. I'm gonna use some fresh oregano for this, but you can definitely use dried. Just make sure you crumble it up so that some of the flavors are released. You can use a different herb as well, fresh parsley or basil. And you just wanna mince it up really finely. And we'll put that in there. And then mix, oh yes, and we need our red onion. So very thinly shaved red onion. The more onion, the better, I think. We're gonna mix that together. This makes the dressing for our delicious lettuce. Now, we are gonna be putting some shredded up, crunchy iceberg lettuce in here. You don't wanna have the lettuce in there too long. I'm gonna check on my zucchini one more time, but I think that we are ready, almost. Yes, the zucchini's looking a lot better now. So we've got almost all of our components ready. There's still a few things to do. We'll be back later in the show to bring together our new Deli Superstacked sandwiches. But first, we're on the road. We'll see you after the break.
Cookin' on the Road is brought to you by Country Grocer, your local store where you'll feel like family.
Normally, right now, we're out on the road visiting a local farm or local producer, but I actually thought I would show you what I do in my day job. I'm a culinary instructor at the Camosun Culinary Program, and this is the Camosun Cuisine Machine. It is a student-run food truck that all of the culinary students have to go through as part of their cook training. And today we're at Lansdowne campus, and we're gonna be serving up some delicious poke bowls. We have a different menu on this truck every week, so the students get a chance to learn multiple different cooking styles, but it's always a short order style of cooking with an international flair. Normally, if I'm not on the food truck, I'm cooking at our interurban location in the culinary student cafeteria there. We're a little bit shorthanded today. It's just myself and a student named Trey, so I have to get in there and help get started because we're gonna open in 10 minutes. So here we are. This is the inside of the cuisine machine. This is Trey. You want to say hi, Trey?
Hello.
He's busy chopping some pickled ginger, which we're going to use as a garnish. Trey.
Yeah.
How are you liking the food truck? Trey?
Food truck is really fun. It's probably the most fun. Yeah, everything's super close spaced, so you have to be super mindful, but I think it's kind of culminating in everything that you've learned, trying to just refine it to a point where you can do it in a tiny little truck.
Tiny little space, yeah, awesome. It's pretty well equipped for such a super small space. We're able to cook a lot of different menus in here, and it's pretty fun to be able to take a kitchen out on the road. Well, excuse me, I've got to start opening. I think we've got some customers. People really like our food. We are ready to open. Hi. And what would you like? Tuna bowl? Is that everything? And your name? So that's 4 tuna all day.
4 tuna all day, okay.
We've got John. There you are. Enjoy. He's building this beautiful bowl right here. So we have a base of jasmine rice and mixed greens with the marinated tuna, and then he just put some edamame on here, which is green soybeans, and some blanched snow peas and carrots, some beautiful radishes. Then we have some colorful bell peppers that we put on, and then some cucumber, and then avocado on there, because you can't have poke bowl without avocado. And then top it with more very delicious miso ginger dressing. And the fish is marinated, but to add dressing, there we go, beautiful. To all the vegetables, really make it flavorful. And then we have 3 beautiful garnishes, some nori seaweed, some pickled ginger. It looks beautiful, some cilantro. There we go, thanks Trey. And then I take it over here and I just sprinkle a few sesame seeds on it. Alana. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye. There you have it. This is just another part of my life that you got to witness, and this is what it's like on our food truck. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome back. Let's finish up these excellent new Deli Superstacked sandwiches. I've got my salad ingredients ready to go. I'm gonna mix that just before we need to. This is 3/4 of a head of iceberg lettuce. What I'm gonna do right now is spread some herbed butter on my bread. We're gonna do the same spread for the vegetarian sandwich as for the meat sandwich. I have a mixture here of butter, garlic, basil, parsley, and oregano. If you wanted to, you could just use pesto and forget about the butter. Pesto also has some lovely oils in it. So the spread on the bread really brings up the flavor. This is no ordinary sandwich. There's gonna be so many different components. It's gonna be so good. So this smells a lot like just your regular pesto, but when you add butter to it, it makes it really creamy and delicious. So make sure you have it nice and evenly spread. Then we're gonna start stacking. Maybe I'll move this out of the way for a second. So I'm gonna make 2 meat sandwiches and 2 vegetarian sandwiches. So on one side, we are gonna put the cheese, and on the other side, we're gonna put the meat. But let me get the meat and cheese out of the fridge. Here we go. We've got some ham, capicola, salami, prosciutto, mozzarella cheese. I also have some Parmesan cheese. So on the bottom side of the bread, we are going to layer the cheese. And for the vegetarian one, I have a little bit of soft goat cheese. So you could use whatever type of cheese you want. Obviously, you can use mozzarella as well for the vegetarian one, but I like how this is kind of tangy and it goes really well with our white bean spread. On the top, we're gonna just layer our meat. So I'll probably do the same on both, but you can mix and match. And notice how I have the meat shaved very thinly. This is really important. You wanna ask at the deli to shave the meat thinly because it makes more surface area and more texture. It's more pleasing in your mouth when you eat it. It's just super delicious. Oh, this is looking so good. And if you want to do prosciutto, you can. We'll just put a little bit on there because that's pretty expensive. We are going to be adding the salad to this after, but we're going to heat this up first. Now for the vegetarian protein component, we have this white bean spread, and I'm going to put that on the top of this sandwich. Spread it out. The 2 meat sandwiches have to go in the oven to melt the cheese and heat up the meat before we finish them. So I'm going to grab a tray. And you can do this on any type of bread you like. I have this on ciabatta, but you could do Italian bread or a baguette, something like that. I'm gonna throw these in the oven. There we go. The vegetarian sandwiches, because the grilled vegetables are all still nice and warm, we are going to just layer them. So we're going to layer these grilled veggies on the bottom. So I'm going to do a mixture. I've got zucchini. I've got some beautiful looking bell pepper here that I grilled earlier. We're gonna do a mixture of red and yellow. These vegetables are really juicy, really crunchy. I have some grilled onion as well. I'm actually gonna put some more pepper on there because I like to make the sandwiches really, really big. Some oven-dried tomatoes. You could also use fresh tomatoes if you want. For the vegetarians, I also like to add a little bit of pickled red onion because I always like to add a pickle to a sandwich. Meat eaters wouldn't even miss the meat if they ate this sandwich. Now I'm gonna finish it off with a bit of greens. I'm just gonna go to the fridge and get some arugula. You could use whatever you want, whatever type of green you want. I like arugula because it has a nice peppery bite. You could also use just iceberg lettuce or romaine lettuce. You could also make the same salad that I just made if you wanted to, or something similar, but maybe with some massaged kale. So there's our vegetarian sandwich. Look at that. I'm gonna put a couple of these beautiful toothpicks in there to hold it together. So I think this looks amazing. Let's see what these look like. Oh, yes. Look at that melty cheese and that sizzling salami. Ooh, so good. I'm gonna take this off the tray though so I don't burn myself. Although I might burn myself just touching these sandwiches. Okay, so now we are ready for the salad and the final components. So I'm gonna mix this salad together really quickly. I'm gonna put the lettuce in here. I'm gonna toss it up. It smells heavenly in here. I cannot wait to take a bite. Now, we are going to put some fresh tomato on the cheese layer. So cheese makes an amazing barrier to fresh tomatoes because it just completely seals off the bread. And then I always just want to add a little salt and pepper to the tomato layer. And there's nice salt. For a second I lost my salt, or thought I did. And also this sandwich gets a little bit of Parmesan on top of the tomatoes, just for some extra flavor. Then we are gonna put our salad on there. Now I'm gonna, wish me luck closing this sandwich. Here we go. Look at that. This is one of my favorite type of meals. I'll put this here. Now we're gonna close that up. Oh, man. There we go. Look at that. Okay, now we need some toothpicks in this. I always like to put the toothpicks in sort of diagonally across from each other because it makes it easier to cut. I'm a diagonal sandwich cutter. I'm gonna get some platters out and I'm gonna cut them. So you wanna have a nice sharp bread knife. To cut through a sandwich like this, make sure that you don't use a lot of downward pressure. You wanna use a lot of sawing. Sawing motion and gentle pressure. If you press down too hard, everything will come bursting out of the sides. There we go. Now I'm gonna put that on this platter. This is the vegetarian one. Looks amazing. So same thing, gentle downward pressure. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Looks so good. Oh, we're losing our salad. Oh, well, I can just eat that as a snack. Gentle downward pressure, lots of sawing. And there we go. Look at how stacked up with delicious ingredients that is. I can barely fit them on the platter. They're so big and beautiful. There you have it, the new Deli Superstacked sandwiches. These will stack up with the best.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
What sort of pairing is gonna work with these super flavorful, super stacked sandwiches? To help us out is Paul from Spinnaker's Brew Pub. Thanks so much for joining us, Paul.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
So
some amazing looking sandwiches.
Thank you.
Wow.
I have some pretty strong flavors in these sandwiches.
Yeah.
You might have heard there's several types of meat, there's pickles, there's herb and garlic pesto, vinegar, we've got grilled veggies, goat cheese. So I'm really curious to see what you brought us.
We brought you a new emerging style of India Pale Ale. This is a beer that we're calling Iceberg.
Iceberg.
And for us, it's a reincarnation of Iceberg. We first made it during the Titanic exhibit at the Royal BC Museum, and we made it as a pale ale at that time. So this one is coming back. It's essentially like a Pilsner style or a lager style. So it's been cold fermented, so it suppresses the fermentation of all those esters.
Okay.
And it's just very clean, easy to drink. And I thought that they would pair nicely with what you've got because it's a nice background, easy to drink beer.
Okay, let's try it out. So you think that this just will be able to handle the strong flavors of the sandwiches, or will maybe let the flavors of the sandwiches shine?
I think it will allow them to all come through and not overwhelm them.
Okay.
Very lively. It's got a nice head on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's almost like when you go to the bar in Germany and it takes them 5 minutes to pour you your beer.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. That's nice.
Just clean and simple.
Yeah, it's very clean and simple.
Yeah.
Very mild. Let's try. I don't know which one you'd prefer. The meat one might be a little easier to eat. I don't know. What are you feeling? Meat, vegetarian?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah. I'll
They
do
all
veggie.
look so great.
Thank
Nice
you.
job. Nice work.
I'll do veggie if you do meat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's juicy, hey?
Yeah, fun.
I'm gonna try this with the beer now.
Thank you. Tasty.
Yeah, that's great. You can really taste the sandwiches. The beer is just like a minor hint in the background. How are you feeling about that pairing? Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Very tasty.
So I hear that you are the oldest brew pub in Canada, is it?
In Canada. Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Spinnaker's is an institution definitely on the West Coast, also in Canada. You have a brewery, also a distillery.
Yeah. We have a wine license. We make ciders as well. A
and you
cidery.
make ciders as well.
It's juicy. It's dripping.
I know. It's that delicious salad that goes in the middle with all the pepperoncini.
Nice salty meats.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us out.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's nice to be with you. Take care.
We would love to see your take on these Superstacked sandwiches. Share your photo on social media and tag us at Chef Heidi Fink and at Chek Media. For the recipes, please just follow the links below. I'm Chef Heidi Fink. Remember, the more you learn, the better it tastes. I can't decide what I have to try the meat one next, you know?
Nice salty meats.
There's so many things falling out of this sandwich.